everybody. We're just reaching the hour. This should be a relatively short meeting. We're just here today to announce our live draw. The past few years doing things online, we've had the privilege to do this process. And it's a nice part just to showcase all the teams, another opportunity to showcase the teams, to show you a bit behind the scenes and show you that the team selection really is random. And also your final opportunity to ask any questions prior to the game. So hopefully everybody here today will have taken part of the friendly matches that we hosted over the past few weeks. And so now today, really the only thing left to do is confirm all of the teams and who they will be playing against. So before I get on to that, I just wanted to say a couple of words just to say thank you to our sponsors for this year. So Chevron have been a long-standing sponsor of SPE and in particular our student programs. They are the people who provide the student dues waiver that allow you all to have free SP membership. And the past few years as well, they've also been long-standing supporters of both PetroBowl and the student paper contest. So a big thank you to Chevron. And also newcomers this year at ExxonMobil, who have been great supporters of different activities, and they've really got engaged with the activities at the Future Talent Zone this year that we'll be hosting. So just to tell you a bit more about the Future Talent Zone, for those who are able to attend SPE ATC 2022 in person, the different activities that we have are a mix of our traditional events and our a couple of new ones as well. And basically this talent zone is a way of incorporating all of these events together and really showcasing students and young professionals as much as possible, and allowing people to network more and have a space to come and meet each other. And we'll have a CV reviewing throughout, and we have a new event which is being led by the Gulf Coast section, which is a hiring event. They have I think 16 companies now who are there to talk to you about different job opportunities with them. So for those who can make it to ATC this year, really hope that you enjoy all of the different programs that we have going on. Okay, so the Monday, the first official day of ATC is when we will be hosting the PetroBowl Championship. So I think most of you will have seen some details on the schedule, but for Houston time, we will be aiming to start the games from about 8 o'clock in the morning. And if all goes to plan, we should have completed the final match by 6 p.m. Again, Houston time. So do look out for the schedules coming up. Obviously, we will be sharing this as soon as the bracket has been added. So we were just waiting for this meeting before we share the official digital brochure with you all. By the way, if you haven't sent your team photos through yet, this is your last opportunity to do so, as once we have the bracket confirmed, we will be updating this and making it available online. So please do send your team photos if you are able. But without further ado, I can see Cassandra, you're on the call. Do you want to say any words before we move on to the live draw?
So hey everyone, I hope you're excited for our first in-person PetroBowl since 2019. And James and his team has really been working hard on the software, which will allow a hybrid format. So we know we're in new times and everyone is still adjusting and having problems, especially getting their visas and whatnot. So we are still allowing for the game to happen. as well as I want to personally thank all the volunteers. I had a really big team this year that was really supportive, really helpful. We had question writers, question reviewers, as well as the internal PetroBowl team, which was over about 100 of us working on making sure the quality of the questions are really good for you guys. So at this point, I just want to thank everyone, and I hope that you guys have a great PetroBowl. Make sure and have fun. It's all about having fun, enjoying the process, networking, making friends. And if you are at ATC, I hope you enjoy it as well.
Sorry, James, you're muted.
Thank you very much. My apologies for the long silence there. So just to repeat myself, so this is the bracket that we'll end up with: a single elimination tournament with the teams paired against each other, which is what we'll be determining now, and then that will take us through to the final. And then obviously the third place game as well, which will determine our top 3 candidates. So I will now copy and paste the names of our 32 teams into our tournament. So you'll see we have the abbreviations for the region that they are from. So Africa, Asia Pacific, Europe and Russia, MENA, and Latin American, Caribbean, and North America. That makes up our 32 teams. And what we will be doing now is just making sure that no one from the same super region will be playing against each other in the first round. So that's mostly just to avoid any duplication of games that have already taken place within a regional qualifier. So this first process we'll go through now should set up our bracket, and there we go. Okay, so as you can see here, this is set up in one long bracket, but that's exactly the same as the bracket I showed you before. It's just we've split it here so you can see that in the landscape mode. So we'll just go through the first game. Okay, so the first game of the championship. Sorry, bear with me. I'll type this in. So we have the Federal University of Petroleum Resources against UNAM, Universidad Nacional Autónoma de Mexico. So that would be our first match, and that will be taking place on Monday. Our second game, Baku High Oil School from the European region will be playing against the University of Bahrain, which will be roughly half an hour after. These timings here aren't accurate, by the way. We will be running through each game one by one. So Yun and the other volunteers and staff will be in contact with you throughout the games to remind you when your games are due. So that makes our second game. Our third game, Gajah Mada University from the Asia Pacific region versus EPN, Escuela Politécnica Nacional. So that makes game 3. Next up, Indonesia University, Universitas Indonesia from Asia Pacific region versus UFF, Universidad Federal Fluminense. And that makes game 4. Sorry about that. Sorry, let me just go back to that tournament. Sorry about that. Okay, this has remixed it. Okay. For the games that we've announced so far, we'll stick with those. It's annoying. Apologies for that. Okay, it's going to remix the whole lot. My apologies. I think we're going to have to go with this version for continuity. Okay. So apologies again. So game 1 now. Federal University of Petroleum Resources. Oh no, so that is correct. Apologies. And Baku University against University of Bahrain for game 2. Yes, this is the same. Okay, nothing has changed. Gajah Mada University versus EPN for game 3. Game 4, Universitas Indonesia versus Universidad Federal Fluminense. Game 5, University of Energy and Natural Resources from Africa against the University of Texas at Austin. Game 6 will be IFP School against Texas A&M University at Qatar. Next up, we have the University of Stavanger against the University of Maizen. Next up, Universidad Jean Piaget against the University of Oklahoma. Next up, University of Uyell versus Texas A&M University. Next, we have Nazarbayev University versus King Fahd University of Petroleum and Minerals. Then the Rajiv Gandhi Institute of Petroleum Technology versus Universidad Industrial de Santander. Then we have Universitas Trisakti against UFRJ, Universidad Federal de Rio de Janeiro. Next up, University of Lagos versus Penn State University. Then we have the Petroleum Gas University of Palosti against King Abdullah University of Science and Technology. Then Heriot Watt versus Universidad de Zulia. And our final round for game 1, Universitas Pertamina against the Colorado School of Mines. Okay, So luckily we don't seem to have any conflicts with regions playing each other in the first round. So I don't see any particular reason to change up anything from this random selection here. Okay, so that will be our draw for today. And I'll now open it up in case there are any further questions from teams or any audience members who may be watching us today before we see you on Monday. Okay, I'm not seeing any further questions. Obviously, you can email us between now and Monday. Many of us will be traveling during that time, so I do recommend, if you do have any questions, to contact us earlier rather than later. But we will be updating this on the Young Member Engagement Committee LinkedIn page, and we'll be emailing it out to all of the teams participating as well. Okay, if there are no further questions, then
Sorry, James, one question.
yes, please go ahead.
The games are played individually, right?
Yes, we're not playing any consecutive games. So
Okay.
I can show you the digital program briefly. Again, we're still making some updates to this. But just to show you how this will run. So teams are welcome to arrive from about 7 o'clock in the morning for registrations. Excuse me. Just before 8 o'clock, we'll be doing some welcomes and introductions and the safety announcements, the things like that. And then we have a couple of words from our sponsors. We have two representatives, one from Chevron, one from Exxon. And then we'll aim to start our games just after 8 o'clock. So I'll be populating this information, and we'll be running each game one after another. We've allotted around 20 to 30 minutes per game, though hopefully they should run faster than that. But yes, that should follow that. Then we'll have a lunch break. If the round one games do finish a lot earlier, we may see if some of the games from round two can be run first. But then we have, from after lunch, we have our round two games before our quarterfinals, our semi-finals, the third place round, and then the final. Hopefully will finish by 6 p.m. So again, I'll share this around with everybody once I've populated this information, and then we will be ready to go. But that's everything, I believe. So without any further ado, you can see there are a couple of questions. Okay, so the first question, when are we going to be provided the game schedules? As I just explained, now that we know which teams will be participating, I'll be able to share that with you all. Can you show the full bracket? Yes, that's what we were just looking at. Bear with me. So the full bracket is here. Again, I will update this on the kind of graphic I showed you earlier, and I'll be sending that out soon. And then there's a question. Games are 25 questions or 8-minute games. So both. If the time does run out, which is very, very unlikely, then the game will stop. But the countdown of the clock only runs while questions are being asked. So it's highly unlikely that 8 minutes will elapse. And so yes, it's more focused on the 25 questions per game for the round one. And then, are we going to broadcast online? Yes, we need to check with our AV team to see exactly what the best way of setting that stream up is. And we'll be meeting with them on Sunday, but the aim is to have that broadcasting through the Young Member Engagement Committee YouTube channel, so that everybody will be able to watch that. Okay.
Sorry, again, one more question.
Go ahead.
During the training session, you mentioned, I can't remember the school now. One school isn't going to be available. So you said Oklahoma was going to go to the next round. So is that still happening? Because they won the last years.
No, I think I've said that in haste. We'd only just found out about the team withdrawal at this stage. So we're sticking to this bracket. The team who are not participating, I believe, is King Abdullah, which will mean Petroleum Gas University of Velocity will automatically go through to the next round. Okay, if there are not any final questions, then we'll call it the end there. Again, I will share this in the updated format as soon as it's ready. I just need to copy and paste the names over, and then I'll be sending that out to you all. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for your patience, and we will see you all on Monday. Take care, everybody.
Thank you, James.